Shh, shh. The podcast is starting. Welcome to the OT Download, from practice to podcast. This is where we unpack everything you didn't know you needed to know about occupational therapy. Whether you're an OT, an OTA, a student, or simply curious, this is your place to explore the real stories, challenges, and opportunities shaping our profession. So if you're ready for insights, stories, and a no-nonsense take on occupational therapy, this is your download. Let's get into it.
Hello and welcome to the OT Download. My name is Gabby. I'm a new grad occupational therapist at MLEA, and I'm joined today by Ceci, who is a fourth year student studying OT. So today we are talking about the wobbles, the trials, and the tribulations from the very beginning of your OT learning journey all the way to being a new grad and learning what it feels like to put all of the theory into practice. So thank you so much for joining us, Sarah.
Thanks for having me.
We are so excited to learn a little bit more about you and your journey so far.
Yes, I'm Ceci. I am a fourth year OT student. Here in Australia, we study OT for 4 years. I'm 24, and I'm only going to say that because I know a lot of people study uni or go into uni straight from school, and I want you to know it's okay. You can be a little bit older and still do really cool, amazing things. Like, don't let your age stop you from studying. I love the gym, I love fitness, and I love being creative, which is why I suppose I also started my Instagram account, She Studies OT, during a time when I was really unsure of if OT was for me, and I go down this rabbit hole, which you'll hear about soon. There was a time when I just felt really stuck and super stressed and kind of like sad that I didn't know what I wanted to do and if I had made the right choice. And during that time, I was desperate. So I was like, okay, I'm going to message all these OT companies and just ask to shadow and just really try and understand in person what OT is like. And that kind of links back to why on my socials I try show and share all the different amazing fields of OT. So if there are other students out there like me that had no idea what they wanted to do, have a look at what a cool driving OT does or what MLEA does. Like, look at all these amazing OTs doing cool things.
That is so amazing, you having jumped on board to do something about the thing that you struggled with to help others through the same journey. So if you're a new grad or a student sitting in that uncertainty right now, this one is for you. Let's get into it.
Turn it up, listen along, put your listening ears on.
So I have a little fact to start us off. Did you know that in Australia, OTs with less than 5 years of experience are 2.5 times more likely to leave the profession?
No.
So that tells us that the little wobbly moments that we have aren't just about us, and it's not senior OTs who've been working in the profession for years and years who are leaving, but it's actually people like us who are still getting our feet underneath us and working it out, and where that doubt is that sort of sends them away.
It's a little bit scary and a little bit sad. Like, you study for 4 years and then to feel so uncertain in those 2 years after and then decide OT's not for you, it breaks my heart.
I know. I definitely had the moment when I had graduated and I was looking for jobs and I'm scrolling through and I'm like, what have I done?
Yeah.
And like, I'm looking at these and like, none of these feel like the degree that I've studied for. They don't feel, like this is OT. And I was just having that moment. It's like, I've just studied for 4 years.
Yeah.
And oh no.
What am I doing?
What am I doing? What have I done? And then the doubt as well, going, I don't know what I'm doing. Because I think there is, there's a line between how much uni prepares you and then putting your foot in the door.
Yeah. Was that because you didn't know what you wanted to do? Like, what area you wanted to focus in on? Or
I think it was the opposite. So I had a really clear idea of sort of, I wanted to get into the AT and the home mod side of things. And then looking at jobs, and it felt like everything was about peds, which peds OTs are great, but it's also not my space. So it's just like seeing all of these things, and it's like really mixed caseload with a bunch of peds. And I'm like, okay,
where's the home mods?
Where's the home mods?
Where's
and
what
like,
I want to do?
Where's the thing that I've spent all this time? And it's just like, again, that feeling of, oh no.
That's so interesting you say home mods. I'm a bit like, home mods, no, get me away.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like you either love it or hate it.
Absolutely. So can you take me back to the first time where you wondered whether OT was right for you?
I feel like there were a few times when I was like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Especially in first and second year, super theory heavy. Like every class theory, you've got paradigms, reasoning, all this stuff. And I felt like I really just wanted to know, what do we actually do? Like, give me examples of when you go and meet someone and help them. Like, what does that look like? I really felt like I needed a clear example to help solidify that, okay, this is cool. So I remember leaving a class one day and I was just like, if I don't understand what OTs do, how are people meant to know they need an OT? I won't even have a job. Like, there's this cycle. No one knows what we do. How do they know they'll need me?
Yeah.
So yeah, that was really tricky. Doing 2 years of another degree first and then taking a break and then going into OT, I was like, have I made the right choice? Like, I've already studied for so long.
So what was the first degree that you were studying and why did you make the leap, even with all the uncertainty?
The first degree I studied was clinical exercise science, and I was studying this in the hopes of getting into physio. So I studied that for 2 years, and for 2 years just couldn't get the marks to jump over. And I knew I didn't want to do science, physiology. I just didn't see myself at that point graduating and being happy with what I'd chosen. So during that time, didn't get in. It was reading the email. I was like, oh no, I've missed out again. Like, what am I going to do? Decided to take a gap year and work full time in e-commerce. So something completely different. And it wasn't until I met an OT at the gym. He thought I was doing physio at the time. Bit of a confusing conversation. And I had to be like, oh, I'm not actually doing physio. Trying to get into it though. And he's like, don't worry about physio. Like, give OT a go. I think you'll love it. And ever since then, applied for OT every day at work, refreshing my emails, seeing, have I got in yet? Have I got in yet? And it was cutting it pretty close to starting time. And I hadn't heard anything. And then that one morning, that email comes through, you're in. And I was like, okay, this is awesome. However, after speaking with the OT at the gym, after he's like, OT's great, like, you love it, you do all these cool things. I was like, yeah, cool, like, I know what that is. I left there, got in the car, and I Googled, like, what is OT? Even then, I was like, oh, I still don't know, like, it's not clear in my head still after Googling it. I always see and hear that, you know, we help people with what they want, need, and have to do, and even hearing that in the first 2 years of uni, I was like, that's awesome, but like, give me a list of examples, please. Like, you help someone with showering. Okay, awesome. What else do you do? Like, let me know all the amazing, cool, different fields that you work in, because had I have known that earlier, I would have just held on to that like crazy and been like, this is awesome.
Absolutely.
Don't doubt yourself.
Yes. Do you think the rest of your peers were feeling that same sort of doubt?
Yes and no. I do remember after a certain class chatting to my friends and explaining how I was feeling, and they were also like, yeah, I don't know if I chose the right thing. Like, maybe I should have become a chiropractor or done like physio or some other health related degrees. But then also I heard in class of, you know, the typical, let's do an icebreaker, why'd you choose OT, da. And everyone's always like, to help people, all this. And I found a lot of people had personal experiences with their family members that they had an OT, or their family friend was an OT. So everyone seemed to have these connections that I didn't. So I was like, they know what they're doing. I'm so happy for you. I'm jealous. I wish I had that reason of being certain in why I was there.
Yeah. I think comparing yourself with peers can be so challenging. So was there ever a time where you felt like dropping out or giving up?
100%. Definitely around the end of that second year, or when all that doubt was going on. I went home one day and I just opened my laptop and went down a mad rabbit hole of what is OT, convinced me to stay, pros and cons, and went through like all these Reddit threads of, is it worth it? like what's going on convinced me to stay in this degree because I don't know what I'm doing. And I found at that time it was really hard to get information on what OT is and how amazing it is. I feel like times have changed now though. There's definitely more out there and more to see. But yeah, I remember coming across this one video and it was a news presenter and his son had an OT and they were like celebrating the OT on the news, and I was like, that's actually really cool. Maybe I'll stay a little bit longer.
That could be me.
Yeah.
Is that part of the reason why you started making your own content and getting the word out as well?
Absolutely. I remember, just during that time, really searching for information that wasn't out there. And during that spiral, I remember typing up this huge message to this OT influencer, being like, this is my situation. I'm so stressed. Have I made a mistake? Like, convince me to stay. I didn't end up sending it. Embarrassingly, like, deleted the whole message back again. But yeah, after that, I heard that you are the best person to help the previous version of you. And I thought, if I'm feeling like this, I'm sure there's others. So maybe I could help. And my account was never meant to be, I guess, like what it is today. If you look back at my old posts, they're all just like not even of me in it, just little like carousels of tips and information. But yeah, I love helping others that were in the same boat as me.
Yeah, that's awesome. I find it interesting too how you said that you're having all this doubt, but you're still looking for a reason to stay. So it's almost like there was something still that was sitting in the back of your mind that this is what you want to do.
I truly believe everything does happen for a reason. Yeah. And I knew I wanted to help people. Like, that's just what I love to do, whether that, I wanted it to be in like a health space. Yep. It wasn't going to be physio, medicine. No, that's too much blood and whatnot. So I think maybe, you're right. A part of me was like, I still really want to help people. OTs do help people. I know you can't see that yet and it's not strong in your mind as to why just yet, but keep trying and keep going.
Absolutely.
Did you have any doubts of
absolutely. I think my biggest point was at the end of my third year, I'd just come off a placement, which I didn't particularly enjoy. Wasn't my area. My supervisor was fantastic though. Yeah. But I sort of had this feeling, I'm like, I don't know if OT is the job for me. And I'm also very stubborn by nature. So I was like, you know what? I've done 3 years of this degree. I'm not dropping out now.
So true. Yeah.
But it was that war between, is the stubbornness really worth it? Or is it actually going to burn me in the long run, finishing the degree, getting out the other end, and going, I still don't enjoy this. Like, I'm so glad I stuck it through because the rest of my placements were phenomenal. Yeah. The last year flew by, and then all of a sudden you're out in the big world, and you're like, I've done it. Yeah. What next? Yeah. Yeah.
What was that placement that made you think, I don't think this is right?
It was a PEDS placement.
Okay. Yeah.
Funnily enough, which we've said. Back to the PEDS. It was the big 10-week placement as well. So it was such like a physical, emotional, time-consuming drain. Yeah. And it's like, true, I was like, I don't know if I'm just tired or if there's something else. And I think that's something that's really hard to distinguish as well.
100%. Those 10 weeks really take it out of you. Yeah. It's almost can feel like Groundhog Day. You just at placement all day, go home, okay, next day, again and again. Yep. And of course it's amazing and you learn so many incredible things, but it takes a toll as a student.
So was there like a turning point for you in shifting from that doubt to having a bit more confidence that this is what you want to do?
Yes, absolutely. In second year, we had a simulation assignment that included an MDT meeting and a client. So there were physios, OTs, psychologists as well, and medicine. And each student was popped in a group with the different disciplines, and we had to work with that client, and also sitting in a big boardroom and explaining from your discipline's perspective about the client. And after that, moment, I was just like, wow, like this is it. I love it. I love that I can explain why OTs need to help this client and the benefits they get from it. I think it made it clear that OTs do have a purpose. It's so important, and they do belong in these rooms with all these other health professionals.
Absolutely. And do you find that sort of sitting down, having that conversation, the simulation, sort of helped you solidify what sets OT apart from the other allied health?
Yeah, absolutely. That makes me think of a quote that's like, physios get you moving, but OTs help you open the door, or something like that. Yeah, I think that was just a really powerful time in my journey that I've left that, and I was so happy in the car, and I was like, this is awesome. Like, I could see myself doing this in the future.
Did you find yourself coming back to that moment whenever that doubt did resurface?
Funnily enough, I don't think the doubt came back.
Oh, awesome.
Which is great. But like, further placement solidified that I was enjoying what I was doing, and I felt like I was making the theories really do stick in your head, and you'll be doing something and you're like, oh, that's pragmatic reasoning, and I'm like, oh my god, stop. The OT brain just never switches off. Yeah, and your lecturers are right, like it does just click into place and you think of it without even thinking of it.
Absolutely. I know sometimes in sessions with clients, I'm doing something and I get to my documentation, I was like, oh yeah, what I thought was winging it in the moment is actually, you know, you were grading a task, you were adapting in the moment, and it just becomes second nature after a point.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It is.
Yeah. Did you have that turning point in your degree where it like solidified that it was the right choice?
I don't know. As in, like, there wasn't one particular moment that I can identify.
Yeah.
I just sort of, you know, you get up one day and you realize that it's changed. I just walked into class one day and I was like, oh, this is pretty cool actually.
The light bulb switch.
The light bulb switch. Like, it was just a shift. I don't know if there was a particular event or a series of events, but I was just like, yeah, I have done the right thing. So I know that you're on placement at the moment. Is there any advice that you have for other students who are preparing for their first placement or feeling like they're in the trenches of placement right now?
I suppose for preparing for placement, once you find out what setting you are in, go in and do as much research as you can about the role of OT in that space. Plan things out to make your time at placement fun.
Yeah.
Whether that's leaving home a little bit earlier to go get a coffee before placement or a little sweet treat. It is a long time and it is hard on your body and your brain, so make sure you keep yourself going and look after yourself. And I guess that links into being on placement. It goes really fast.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just being in my second 10-week block, but time has gone like that. And I'm just like, is this normal? Or is it just because I'm enjoying this a lot that it's going really quick? But yeah, it's absolutely wild. And I feel like I'm really trying to make the most of it, because in 5 weeks it'll be done.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, oh, I really miss being there with the team and like helping those particular clients. So really trying to soak it up as much as you can. I think even if you're in a field that you don't particularly like, make the most of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you will learn from that. Just because you don't like it now, okay, that's fine. You've realized that.
Yeah.
You haven't just accepted a new grad job in this same field and you're like, oh no, I don't know what I've done.
Yeah, absolutely.
I hate it. So yeah, try learn as much as you can in that space, because it doesn't last forever.
Absolutely.
Where have your placements been?
Oh, I've had a lot. We were really lucky. We did a placement in our first year that was just a 2-week sort of shadowing opportunity. So I went out west to Charleville and got to hang out of the hospital for a couple of weeks, which was so incredible to see a little bit of everything that OT does. So we did some pressure injury management. We did some palliative care. Yeah. We went out and did home visits and tea and toast assessments.
Nice.
And it was so great just to see everything that an OT does. That's probably one of the things that stuck with me, actually. When I'm in a placement where I'm like, this isn't what I want to do, I am able to go back to that and just think, this isn't everything that an OT does.
Yeah.
This is you know, teaching me the bread and butter foundations, but it's not everything. And I think that's really important. Skills you learn that apply across every setting. So different communication styles, how to just have a conversation and be human with someone is so important in every setting of OT.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you're super lucky as well to have a hospital placement so early on in your degree. I only kind of got a hospital placement or saw what OT was like in a hospital just on this recent placement. And seeing what they do in a hospital, it's so clear how important OTs are. All the different fields they can be in, whether it's stroke or neuro or palliative, like the list just goes on. Just doing observation. Second year we did aged care, which was interesting. We kind of were just in the aged care facility, and it really tested you because you had to go and knock on people's doors, and there's just little old second year you being like, hello.
It's like, I'm a student, I want to help you.
They're like, physio? No, I know it's the same shirt. No, OT, let's have a seat, I'll explain it to you. It kind of pushed you out of your comfort zone for sure.
Absolutely.
And then third year was a role emerging placement. Did you have one of those?
No, I don't think so. We had a research placement where we would assist with research project.
That's cool.
But no, not a role emerging. Tell me more about that.
Role emerging is kind of what its name sounds like. Luckily enough for me, I was in a school with a special education teacher. But that was phenomenal seeing what OTs could do in that space. For that placement though, we had to come up with a intervention, I suppose, for a larger group. So that was a bit challenging because part of you wanted to be there and do like the OT stuff with the kids, but you were forced to use a different kind of thinking to look at the broader picture, the broader collective that you could help. And then fourth year is 2 10-week blocks placement. As someone who's about to graduate at the end of this year, and as someone being 6 months out, what have you learnt in those first 6 months?
I have learnt so much, and it also feels like nothing in the sense that it can be really hard to get bogged down in everything that you don't know yet. Every time you get a new case that's challenging or it pushes you, or you're like, I don't know what the next steps with this client are. I find that one of the things that has helped me the most is to actually sit there and be like, okay, but I've done all of this already. These are the things I've done. I've sat down, I've had the conversation with the person. You've figured out where the issue might be occurring, what the challenges are, what's important to them. And once you have that information, you can go anywhere. And sometimes, yes, you're going to fumble through the skills as you figure it out. But at the end of the day, you're just two humans who are figuring out how to navigate the world.
Do you feel like you sometimes have to reflect back and remind yourself like, no, like I can do this. Like I've done these hard things before. This is just a new hard thing to learn.
Absolutely. And I feel like in the first 6 months, year, 2 years, 5 years, and like honestly for the rest of your career, you're always going to be finding new things that you haven't done before, that you haven't experienced. And I think one of the things that's been most reassuring for me is sitting in conversations with my team and seeing senior OTs who still go, I don't know what to do with this client. I don't know what the next steps are. And it's like so valuable to be sitting there and be like, you know what? It's okay that I might not know what to do with every client, because every client is different. You're never going to take the same approach twice.
No. And that must be quite refreshing to know that your like supervisors or seniors are also like, I actually don't know everything either. And I think if someone says they know everything, they're lying. Like, come on.
Absolutely.
When you did graduate and you're mentioning like supervision and team is super important to help foster you becoming a great OT, what did you look out for in terms of jobs?
I think the biggest one was looking for both something that I was interested in, so looking for a job that
Sorry, peds.
Yeah. And,
Turn that
on the
filter
listing
off.
we're going to let you do home mods. Like, that was a big seller for me.
Yeah.
And something that was shockingly difficult to find. And then, applying for the job, going to the interviews and just sussing out the vibes.
Yeah.
Like, I definitely had a few jobs that I turned down because I didn't enjoy the culture when I went to the interview. I was like, this just isn't for me.
Yeah.
And I think something that is so important to realize as a new grad, and I think in Queensland, our first year employment rate is like 97%. Like, it is crazy high.
Oh my gosh.
So it's like, you're going to find the right job for you. Or
Yeah.
you're going to find a job and get 3 months or 6 months experience and be able to jump somewhere else. And I think it's so important to not let yourself get bogged down.
Yeah.
Something else that I really struggled with was, again, comparing yourself to your peers. A lot of people in my cohort had jobs from first semester, fourth year lined up already. And I'm sitting there going, you are insane.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how do you know what you want to do already? B, like, kudos for putting yourself out there and getting that so early on.
Absolutely.
Like, I still sat there with the doubt of, what if I fail a subject? What if I don't actually graduate at the end of the year?
Yeah, logistics, pragmatic reasoning.
Yep. It didn't happen, but again, the doubt is there.
Yeah.
I took some time off after I finished uni just to relax, wrap up my previous work role, and sitting there looking through the jobs going, what have I done? The doubt came back.
Yeah.
And it was that you're trying to find a job that is jumping out at you as the perfect job. That's all you want as a new grad. And, sifting through pages and pages on Seek and Indeed and LinkedIn.
Yeah.
And just taking the time to look for the job, I think, is the most important thing.
I feel like we're quite lucky in this day and age where maybe new grads or OTs looking for work have so many options.
Absolutely.
Whereas I've heard from OTs back in the day that there were not a lot of OT jobs going. They had to do something else first before they could get the job that they were after. So I feel like times have changed and quite lucky.
Yeah.
Because if I think back throughout this year, I feel like I've changed so much from at the start, even towards the end of my first 10-week placement. So that placement was in hands and it was awesome. Had I have been like, okay, that's what I want to do, let's apply for hands, and then gone into this next placement and been like, oh, I actually love this as well. Like, it blows my mind that they were so certain in that, because so much can change and you grow as an emerging OT in that space as well.
Yep. So we are jumping into our myth busting section, and we've got 5 little myths that we're going to chat about whether they're fact or fiction.
Okay.
All right. Number 1, if you're feeling doubt, you've chosen the wrong degree.
Fiction. I've had a lot of doubt and it's now the right degree.
I think something really important is if you're doubting, it means you care.
100%. Yeah. No, I love that. And I've heard that from supervisors as well. Fiction all the way. Next one. Everyone in my degree is coping better than me.
Fiction.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. No. I've had so many moments where I've had peers, I've had a breakdown with them or they've had a breakdown with me. And it's just like, this sucks. We're going through the trenches and we're in it together. So absolutely fiction.
Yeah, I agree. And also tip, have a little Facebook Messenger chat with your cohort or like your uni friends. It makes such a game changer in like relating to like, oh, this assessment sucks, or like anyone else having trouble with this. Yeah, you're all in it together.
Such a great idea. Number 3, you need to know your OT niche before you graduate.
Fiction. If I had $1 for every time someone said, so what do you want to do when you graduate? Placement wouldn't be unpaid anymore. I have no idea what I want to do. Yep. So absolute fiction.
Absolutely. And I think something too, once you come out and you graduate and you start getting hands-on cases, you're like, I didn't think I would enjoy this, but I'm loving it. Yeah. So locking yourself is not on. So yeah, absolutely fiction.
Yeah, big fiction. Placement is a hoop to jump through.
Fiction. It can certainly feel like it at times when you're in the trenches. But then coming out the other side and you realize how much you've learned, how many skills you've gained, and how much further that placement takes you than just classroom learning. Yeah, absolute fiction.
Yeah, I agree. There's so many times in classes where I was just like, I prefer to be on placement right now. Like, send me in the clinic doing things rather than sitting here.
Yeah, let me do it. Let me put my hands on.
Yeah, 100% fiction. Once you love OT, the hard days stop.
This one's tricky. The hard days are always going to be there.
Yeah.
But I can definitely tell you that since starting OT, I have woken up every morning and I've been excited to go to work.
Yes.
I get up and it's like, you know what? I've worked hard for this. I love what I'm doing. And again, it's hard because you care.
Yeah.
So the hard days don't stop, but they are so worthwhile.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And you can love what you do, but you can't control what's going to happen in those days. There could be something absolutely wild and you're like, this is hard, but it doesn't mean I don't love OT as a whole and what I'm doing.
This is hard. This sucks. But you know what? You get that in every job.
I agree.
All right. So to wrap us up, if you had to give one word of advice to first year Sarah or anyone who's starting out in OT, what would it be?
Well, if I could go back and tell first year Sarah, I would grab her by the shoulders and shake her and be like, stop stressing. All these trials and tribulations are absolutely worth it in the long run. I know it doesn't make a whole lot of sense now, and uni does need to teach you the foundations and the theory, so then the later years can make a lot of sense. Stick through it. I know it's not always the most fun time and interesting, but it makes sense on the other side. And if you're still feeling really lost and confused, go down a mad rabbit hole again, because there will be more resources out there.
Absolutely. And reach out to your peers, reach out to your friends, even if they're not in the same course as you.
Yeah.
Just having someone to be with you and be like, you know what? You're pretty damn good at this. Keep going, keep trying. You're going to get there.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm sure the doubt is universal across all these different degrees.
Absolutely.
It'd be a little bit weird if you didn't doubt what you were doing. Like you said, do you even care?
So that brings us to the end of our episode. So if you're a student or a new grad and this has found you mid-wobble, I hope that this brings you a little reassurance and a reminder that it gets easier and everything works out in the end. If this episode resonated with you, make sure to follow us. We've got all of our socials linked below. And let us know what your experience has been in that final year or your new grad year. Also check out Sarah's socials. She studies OT. And we'll link that below as well. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.